Hey everybody, it's Nathaniel Avila reporting from Dallas County, and who are we here with today?
You are with Clara Avila, also reporting from Dallas County.
What are we here to do today?
What we do all the time, every time, see who is... You couldn't have done that before we
I
started?
forgot. Okay, what is it?
To see who is the butthole.
Okay, ready for the first one?
Absolutely. Hit
So-
me. Hit me with it.
Hit me baby one more time.
Hit me. Let's go.
Did you hear about this thing about the conservatorship?
We're not here to talk about that,
Did you hear
Nathaniel.
about that?
We're not here to talk about that.
I just think that Spears shouldn't be in a conservatorship.
Well, I mean, of course, it's awful to be in a conservatorship. Can we please just do what we're here to do?
She's not in a conservatorship anymore. I'm saying that the joke is that I'm kind of slow,
Oh my
And
gosh.
that-
You know what? I'm slow also, so can we just...
and that the conservatorship is like old news.
Yes, okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
AITA, my 39 female ex-husband, 37 male, is insisting I change my last name back to my maiden name because his new fiance, 24 female, oh geez, that's an age gap, feels it will be awkward for her and I to have the same last name. AITA for refusing to change it.
Okay. Very interesting.
My 39 female ex-husband, 38 male, has been dating this woman for 3 years. For context, she's 24 years old, and my ex and I were married for 12 years and have been divorced for 5 years. We have 3 kids together who are now teenagers. My ex and I got divorced because we were young then when we met and got married and grew apart as people. It was a mutual decision, and we agreed our kids came first and have always co-parented very well. This has been the case up until the last year when his girlfriend moved in with him. Previously, we would do holidays and kids' birthdays together. Now, when she is present, they won't even sit near me at our kids' sporting events. I have always been nice to this woman, despite my kids expressing they do not like her and feel their dad acts differently when she's around. My ex told me early on she wasn't a fan of me and felt I intimidated her. When I asked him for examples of how I intimidated her, he said it's my he said it's my fave. I don't know what that means.
Huh?
Oh, she meant to say face.
Oh, face.
It's her face. She's got resting bee face.
Oh, her face is intimidating.
And it makes her uncomfortable. My ex and her got engaged over Christmas, and my kids were less than thrilled. My daughter, especially. She feels her dad made a major life decision without even talking to them, I'm talking to them about it first. My ex called me yesterday saying he is giving me a heads up that I have a year to change my last name back to my maiden name, as his fiance is expressing her distaste and concern for her, and I have the same last name when they get married. I told him we agreed in our divorce that I could keep his last name until I felt the need to change it, and that is what is listed in our paperwork. I also told him I don't want to have a different last name than our kids. He said I'm being unreasonable and refusing to see how this would make his fiance uncomfortable. I told him I can't see it from her side because I am a grown-up and not an immature child like she is. She said that to him because I thought he was telling that to her, and I was like, this should be kind of telling if you knew that already. He told me I could ask anyone about the situation and everyone would agree with her. So AITA for refusing to change my last name and make her happy.
I don't understand this at all.
What do you mean you don't understand this at all?
I don't get it.
It's pretty clear cut.
I mean, yeah, sure, but I just don't understand the whole, like, last name thing.
She just doesn't want to have a different last name than her children.
Yeah, I know.
And they did agree on it in the divorce.
Yeah.
So I think it might be a bit unreasonable for her ex-husband to be like, my new bae doesn't want you to have the same last name as you.
Name as her.
Because
that doesn't make any sense. It's just a name.
It's just a name. And, like, why is this guy marrying somebody 10 years younger than him? Like a 24-year-old?
You know that happens all of the time.
Yeah. But this seems to be like a major, like thing because OP is like, she's just an immature kid and I'm all grown up.
I mean, in comparison, yes. She's 24.
Mm-hmm.
She's not even technically fully developed. We're fully developed at 25.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's like about to graduate college age.
Well,
that's very,
yeah. And like,
that's very young.
It's a bit young to be marrying somebody with 3 kids, and none of his kids like her. So,
yeah.
And so I think OP is not the butthole for wanting to keep her name because it's.
I mean, if it was previously agreed upon,
it's agreed upon.
You know, you're going back on that, and that's not cool.
Yeah, that's not cool. Let's see what comments have to say. Nata, tell him you'll only consider changing your last name back to your maiden name if you can change the last kid's name also.
Yep.
If he doesn't agree, he can sit on it and rotate. OP responds with, I did offer that as a solution. He completely lost it, saying that he is their dad and they deserve to have his last name. Yet when I said I wanted the same last name as our kids, he told me that it wasn't a legitimate reason to not change it.
Well then,
these double standards.
Double standards for real.
Nata quotes. He told me I could ask anyone about the situation and everyone would agree with her. You should definitely send him a link to this post. I would be surprised if anyone sides with him. I don't blame you for wanting the same last name as your kids. I would not blame you if you had no kids and simply did not want to deal with the same name change hassle again. If she does not want to share a name, her husband can change his last name to match her. That's an idea, I guess.
Yeah, you could do that too.
But I don't think he wants to because he wants to have the same last name as his kids.
Yeah, probably not.
When my parents divorced, my dad demanded my mom change her last name back to her maiden name, and he told this to the judge. The judge laughed in his face, and he told him that's not his or her decision. It's my mom's. My mom told him that she didn't have his last name. She had my last name. The whole reason she wanted to keep it was to have the same last name as me, Nata.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that's right. So the only way that he can change her name back is if she agrees to, because it's no longer just his. So yeah, we have an update.
Okay, update. Let's hear it.
Several of you have asked me for an update from my ex-husband giving me a year to change my last name back to my maiden name because his fiancée was uncomfortable with her and I having the same last name. I tried to link the original post, but it is not allowing me to do so, and I'm not sure the best way to give an update, so I will try this. To clarify, the reason he gave me a year is because they are getting married sometime next year and wanted my name changed prior to the wedding. Anyway, my ex called me yesterday and said he had done a lot of research on ex-wives keeping the ex-husband's last name after a divorce. He stated he didn't realize how common this is, especially if there are children from the marriage. He also said, this had been my last name for 17 years. My entire adult life has been with his last name, and I have built a career with it. He basically acknowledged that every reason I had to keep it was legitimate. He apologized for the way he initially approached me about not changing my last name, and explained he is in a bad spot trying to make his fiancée happy. He also explained she feels that by me keeping his last name must mean I'm still in love with him. Okay. Well, this is just like a 24-year-old. I guess it makes sense how she would still have that mentality. And this is my secret way of assuring we end up together someday. I informed this is not nor ever will be the case.
Yep.
Yes, I care deeply about him because I was married for him for 12 years and he's the father of my children. I want him to be happy in life. However, I fell out of love with him many years ago and that will not change. He said he informed his fiancée that he will not bring this up to me again, and if she didn't like it, the ball was in her court to decide if she wanted to continue their relationship. Thank you for all the feedback on my original post. I never expected this kind of response and an overwhelming amount of comments and advice. So, thoughts?
Yeah, that's good.
So,
I'm glad he came around.
happy ending.
Happy ending.
So,
how nice, how rare.
So it's a happy ending. It was kind of not cool of him to be like, change your last name, but now he's like...
Well, he was, He
was blinded. Blinded by this succubus.
No.
By this 24-year-old succubi.
Nathaniel.
What?
What do you mean what? You know why that's wrong.
I don't see.
Of course you don't. Whatever.
But yeah, I mean, love does make you blind, and he kind of got out of it, thank goodness. Yep. And he's doing the mature thing, and his fiancée is doing the not mature thing, which is not that surprising.
Because she is 24.
Mm-hmm.
I can assume that this is probably her first, serious relationship.
Yeah, with a guy who's 38? 39?
I don't remember what ages they were. It was an age gap.
It was a massive age gap. It was 39. No, it was 37.
37. So how many years is that?
That's 13 years.
13 years? Could be worse.
So...
Could be 20.
I guess. So yeah, I mean, the happy ending.
Happy endings.
Fiance can do whatever she wants. See what she does.
That's what he said. It looks like ball's in her court in terms of that.
All right, let's go. Next one.
All
right. And this one's deemed poo mode.
Ooh, poo mode.
That means they locked up the comments. AITA for not wearing the wedding dress my stepsister had made for me. Thoughts?
I'll need to hear more.
Mm-hmm. I, 25 female, got married 2 weeks ago. My now husband, 27 male, and I paid for the wedding, but my father covered a few costs for us. My father's girlfriend, Stella, has a daughter, Zoe, who's 21, who is finishing her degree in fashion. She wants to get into the wedding dress industry since she graduates. When I started planning my wedding, she offered to design and make my dress. I was hesitant at first as I'd been excited about picking out my own dress.
Mm-hmm.
I agreed because I didn't know Zoe well. My father had only been dating her mother for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought this could be a nice opportunity to bond. Also, I'd seen some of her work. She'd made a couple ball gowns in college, and she seemed honestly good. We met up a few times to discuss our ideas. During those, I realized our styles were drastically different, but we still managed to agree on a design. I gave Zoe my measurements and asked her to update me. She didn't. However, I asked her how she was doing. She said she would send me progress pictures when she got home. She never did. It took longer than expected to finish it, and I didn't get the dress until a month before my wedding. It looked nothing like the design we had agreed upon. It was the wrong color, the wrong style, everything. It looked exactly like the type of dress Zoe would want to wear. But I knew I'd never wear anything like it. I really did not like that dress. When I tried it on, I found it was about 3 sizes too big, though I knew I could probably have it altered. I truly did not want to wear that dress on my wedding day. I called Zoe and told her I wouldn't wear the dress. I said it looked lovely, but not the style we agreed upon, and I thought it would be best for me to find a different dress. I offered to pay her for her work. She made the dress for free, but she declined and hung up on me. I went to a retail bridal store with my maid of honor, and we made a beautiful gown. We found a beautiful gown that didn't need much altering. I looked exactly like what I wanted. Fast forward to my wedding, I looked down the aisle in the dress I bought. Zoe seemed to be on the verge of tears during the ceremony, and Stella gave me a dirty look throughout the reception. When I approached them a while later, they were both short with me. My father, Stella, and Zoe left less than an hour into the reception. My father and Stella called me the next day and told me off for how I treated Zoe. This had been her first time making a wedding dress and had been excited to see me wearing it. They said it was insulting of me to not wear the dress she put so much effort into. I tried to explain why I hadn't worn the dress, but they were both insisting the dress was beautiful and I could have sucked it up.
What?
My husband and my younger sister, not Zoe, are on my side. I have been feeling guilty about this since I decided not to wear the dress. AITA.
No. Mm-mm. I understand that in fashion, as a fashion designer, you want to create your own kind of thing. However, when you're working with a client, you have to make sure that the client is satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't about what you want to do artistically and creatively. This is about making sure that the client feels happy and beautiful on her wedding day. That's what the wedding industry is. The wedding gown industry. Whoa.
No, yeah. No, Clara, that's the thing this person needs to learn, because she's just out of fashion school.
Out of fashion school.
This person needs to learn that. And you and I, Clara, we're both in the creative field, and
Absolutely.
we both dealt with having to deal with clients and their clientele.
Yeah.
It's all about making sure the client is the end-all, be-all.
Yes.
Making sure that everything looks good, and then if the client likes it, then that's fine.
Yeah. I mean, you can take certain liberties. There is a certain amount of creative freedom that you have. But in the end, if you do something and the client says, I don't want that, you don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
You can convince them. You can say, hey, no, I think that this would be a good idea. And then maybe the client will be like, oh, you know what? You're right. But if after you try to convince them, they're like, no, I don't want that at all. You go with what they want.
Yeah. Like, I was making this one video for this thing, and she was like, I want to have my logo transparent on the bottom right side and the sponsor's logo on the other side transparent. And I wouldn't go like, no, not at all. That would mess up everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
I put that in there.
Yep.
They want different music. They put in different music.
Different music.
I mean, then again, that's kind of like a joke amongst people, because a lot of people like to edit to the beat of the music.
Yeah.
I don't like to do that. So, yeah, you got to make sure that's the thing. I don't think this lady is a butthole, because this is her wedding. You only have one of those, maybe-ish.
You hope to only have one.
You only have one of those. It's a very special moment. It's a very special moment, and I could understand why she wouldn't want to do that. Wear a dress that she would not feel good, because she's gonna look back on these 20 years later, look at her wedding photos.
Gosh, I wish I was wearing a different dress.
Yeah, she will think that. And now that she's not going to do that anymore, because she made the right choice, what's best for her.
Yep.
So I think that's a good idea. I think the other lady is the seamstress, or the person who's the seamstress. I'm not going to say your feelings aren't invalid, but it's just a thing you need to learn. This is just growing pains.
Yep, growing pains.
And the next client you get, you're going to have another client. Don't worry.
Yep,
You'll get
you
another
will.
one.
Sure, clearly you're a talented, what's the word? Fashion designer?
Seamstress?
No, seamstress is something different.
Okay.
We'll say fashion designer.
Okay.
Clearly you're a good fashion designer. You just need more practice in terms of what you're used to is creating stuff for like assignments and being creative. Now what you need to get used to is finding a mix between being creative and following what the client wants.
She needs to learn like the business side of it,
The business
and the
side
people
of things.
side of it.
Yep.
Yeah. So, which she'll probably get to it. She's still very young.
Yeah.
And she's just out of it. She'll learn. Though
you can't take this one too hard.
Yeah.
It's just this is how it is.
That's how it is. And the OP's father's girlfriend shouldn't be probably not enabling it, but
well, you know how some parents are.
Yeah, I mean, not the butthole for sure. Not the butthole. Let's see what the people of Reddit have to say. Nata, Zoe disrespected you by ignoring your wants as a designer. She needs to listen to her clients. That's a bit of a kind of coming in hard.
Very aggressive.
Plus, her making the dress way too big means she isn't that great at it. Give the dress back to Zoe. Let her know what you appreciated her effort.
That is the thing that I was confused about, is why was it so big? Didn't she have the measurements?
That's true. That you are sure she will find someone to appreciate the dress. As for her mom and your dad, let them know that Zoe needs to listen to her clients. Yeah.
Yep.
And that you appreciate Zoe's efforts. It was not what you wanted. And that as a client, you don't need to suck it up. And that they should have learned to accept that people have the right to make their own choices, especially regarding wedding dresses. Honestly, wondering if Zoe did this on purpose to get attention during your wedding. And then OP responds with, I don't think she did this for attention. I think she got carried away and made the dress she wanted instead of the one we'd agreed on. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Let's see what else we got. Okay, Nata. The thing about being a designer, especially a bridal designer, is listening to the bride and what sort of dress they see themselves in.
Yep.
You likely don't get any progress photos because she knew this was her style, not yours. It was your day and your desire should have been honored. She never prepared you for the fact that it was nothing like you wanted. She made your day all about her. Your father should have had your back. I kind of want to see how this looks, but I guess I'll never know.
Yeah.
Nata! This could be a good learning opportunity for her, but instead they're coddling her. If she wants to go into this industry, she needs to know how to work in it. You're being far nicer than she deserves, in all honesty. Leaving dress updates until a month beforehand is cutting it incredibly close. This is why people start their hunts many months beforehand, almost a full year. Getting adjustments takes time.
Yep.
And you're lucky to find a dress that you like and fits you in such short notice. She could have majorly compromised your wedding. Honestly, I think you need to be pretty blunt with her about this, because if this is how she's going to treat clients in the future, then she's going to struggle a lot. Heck, show her this comment section. Don't show her this comment section. I know you want to do tough love, but sometimes it might not be the best, especially artistic people. They take things they get very emotional. So yeah, I think she'll learn from this. And yeah, like, listen to your clients. That's what I say. Right, Clara?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see what else we got. Found out that my husband sleeps with his ex-wife from time to time to prevent her from dating.
Say that again?
Found out my husband sleeps with his ex-wife from time to time to prevent her from dating.
What the heck?
I just want to lie down in a fetal position to cry.
Me too.
We have been married for 2 years, 2 happy years, until I stumbled upon an email from her that said that she didn't want to do this anymore because she wanted to find love and meet another man. He answered her that he loved her more than anything, even more than the children. They have 3. Oh my gosh.
What
and that he would give her all the sex she wanted. Then he went on about it was safer for her to not let strangers into her home. She said that she was done. He asked her to marry him. She told him that she didn't want him back as a husband. He said he loved her. Now I know why he refuses to have shared custody with her and would rather pay $4,500 in child support instead, so she doesn't have time to date. I am so heartbroken. I feel like trash. Why is he doing this?
Wow! Wow!
So this lady is definitely not the butthole, but
No,
we do know who the
what?
butthole is.
No!
What?
This is it. This cannot be an "Am I the butthole" post.
Okay.
Because
So what do you think?
What do I think?
What do you think?
What the heck?
Well, that's really messed up.
Disgusting!
This guy, you need to leave.
Terrible!
Leave his
Leave
butt.
him!
Leave his
Leave
butt.
him!
Because he obviously doesn't love you.
Clearly not, if he's doing this.
If he's doing this, like, saying, like, I love you, ex-wife, even though
whatever the heck kind of manipulation this is.
It's obviously manipulating her because he doesn't want her to date so he can feel in control of her.
Out! Get out! Get out!
Get out!
Get out!
Let's see what the people of Reddit have to say. It sounds like you're the other woman. The husband left his wife to be with you, and now the husband regrets leaving her. Am I right? I don't know, maybe.
I don't know. It could be that, but...
Hopefully the ex-wife can find the happiness she deserves, far away from the both of you. What did she do?
What the heck? Now you're coming in. Why are you...
What did she do to her?
What did she do? You don't know that. You're making assumptions about this relationship.
And then OP responds with, that I don't care about. Negative 220 downvotes.
Wait, what?
Okay. And then another person responds with, this comment right here is the reason you, quote, feel like trash, as you stated in your post. You have behaved like the worst possible trash you could have. You are not a woman, because real women would have each other's backs. Grow the F up. Have accountability and take responsibility for your actions in a new life path. I'd like to say that it isn't too late to start, but your selfish comments you continue to spew are heavily contradicting that.
What? Wait, what? What is happening?
Did I miss something?
Did we miss something? Did she say she was a mistress?
Oh, wait.
And she ruined their marriage?
Blah, 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 blah. She only had an in with him because he was his wife. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Okay. Inform me.
Okay,
Fill me in.
Okay, so the person who said in the first one, and then a mother, sounds like you are the other woman. The husband, and then another person responds with, close. The wife left the husband after OP. Yes, she was the other woman. Outed their affair to her. So seemingly the husband never wanted a divorce, just a little butt on the side, but OP didn't like that and took matters into her own hands.
Oh.
And then, wow, so she married this AP, that's OP, and made his ex-wife his new AP, so he still gets both? Wow, that's karma to OP. Now both women need to get some self-esteem and dump him so he gets his karma, okay? Karma is like a Reddit thing.
Yeah. Well, karma is like a thing in general.
And then another person says, she only... Is this the same person? Yeah, no, past the Blu-rays, no. This is Guardians of the Rose. Okay. Let me see. She only had an in with him because he and his ex-wife were grieving the death of their newborn son. They drifted apart in their grief and lost each other. Somehow, this piece of information makes this whole situation 10 times worse. When that OP's mother pushed for his wife's information so he could go break the news to this grieving woman and get her own daughter hitched to the grieving father. This whole situation is just horrible, and I really feel for the previously married couple. The trauma they had been through must have been absolutely brutal for both of them. Parents often seek comfort from someone when their child dies, and it's especially hard when one parent gets so wrapped up in their grief that they can't be there for the other. I can't blame the guy for wanting to connect with someone when his wife was too lost to stay connected with him. I can't blame her either for needing some time to grieve alone. I do blame this newly married woman for using this as an opportunity to break them apart when they were struggling so badly already.
Okay.
This is...
Okay.
The thing is, I don't know where these people are getting this information.
Where are they getting this information? Perhaps in some of her other posts, maybe? Did she post about something before?
Okay, and then one person says, wait, how do you know OP was the affair partner? And then this person says, it is or was in comments, now deleted it looks like. And then this person says, darn, this girl is really playing victim, and is asking why did this happen to her. And then another person says, to be fair, I don't think OP originally knew she was the other woman from some of the comments above. I'm pretty sure she found out she was the one to tell the wife. Okay, so apparently she's been deleting stuff.
Whoa. Okay.
So this has been a major...
This is very all over the place.
A massive twist.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about a twist.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. I still say leave him.
I I think leaving is probably the best.
That's probably the
thing to go.
best. Clearly,
Because this guy,
bad.
based on this
relationship.
information, she seems to come in, wreck this person's marriage, and then he realized that she has her claws in him.
So now, because of everything that is happening in there, I'm not sure what to believe. So I don't know if I can give an informed decision on how I feel about this situation.
Yeah. So, I guess everyone's the butthole.
Everyone's the butthole in this one.
Okay, let's move on. This is making my head hurt.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
AITA for refusing to reevaluate my relationship to appease my sister.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. No, the post has been removed.
No.
Don't worry, it doesn't archive.
Oh.
Okay.
Hooray for the archive.
I, 33, have been with my husband, 35, Adam, for 14 years. Adam has a 15-year-old from previous relationship, and we've got 2 children who are 8 and 2. My sister, who's 19, recently moved in with me. She's doing an apprenticeship, and my house is closer. My sister has always been the happiest person I know. She has ADHD, which my husband equates to her carefree nature. I wouldn't know. But it's like the moment my husband is home, she's an entirely different person. She's on edge, she's stressed and snippy. She's never like that. My husband has made a few comments that she hopes she's not like that at work. And she's too old to be acting like a teenager still. I mean, she's 19, dude.
Yeah, that is literally still a teenager.
Yeah, she's 19. Give her a break.
Yeah.
My husband has autism, and there's been a few moments that do make me cringe. Like when my sister gets home from shopping, he'll ask what she got him and where his hook is.
Why did you say it like that? I didn't even understand what you said at all.
He's where his hug is.
Oh.
He's a where's my hug guy.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Clara, where's my hug? Where's my hug?
No drinky winky?
What?
You said that.
I don't remember ever saying that.
You did. Oh, no, you said no drinky drink?
Yeah, that's right. Now that I probably did say.
You did?
But I had a good relationship with that cashier, though.
Okay, well, that's...
But that was at the Cliffs Donuts.
Yeah. Well, hey, don't dox us.
What? Anyway. Where's my hug, Clara? Where's my hug?
Nowhere.
No!
In the ether.
And there's been a few instances of him eating her food or accidentally taking some of her money if she leaves it next to her bag. He's just impulsive. I don't think. How do you accidentally take someone's money?
Steal somebody's money?
And then eats her food?
And eat somebody's food.
I've explained to my sister should understand that he's impulsive. He's apologized saying he didn't realize it'd be a big deal and that they're family. I don't think there's few instances warrant my sister being so tense. She's been complaining of reoccurring migraines, and I know she's been having them as my stepdaughter tells me she hears my sister crying at night.
Mm-hmm.
My friends have said that I really need to reevaluate my relationship with my husband, even if I even like my sister. But the thing is, my sister hasn't even complained. These are just things I've noticed, and I tend to overthink things. I spoke to her that she'd never involve herself in my relationship like that. My friends do believe I'm the My mother is on my side, but my father isn't. He's never liked Adam. AITA.
Wait, I'm confused. Why is she asking if she is the butthole?
For refusing to reevaluate my relationship to appease my sister.
What? Okay, what are the comments there? I need to know.
You just want to skip to the comments?
Yeah, I need to know.
Okay, your friends are right. Your husband is crossing boundaries, being creepy towards her sister, stealing from her and making her cry. And you are just enabling his inappropriate behavior towards her and blaming his autism.
I thought she was crying because of the migraines.
Yeah, it looks like it. But, I mean, that's what OP thinks, and I guess the comments
Oh, okay.
think it's because
Otherwise?
of otherwise. Yeah. Adam is a creep, plain and simple. His autism has nothing to do with that. It just gives him a cover to be creepy and get away with it. Can't believe your mother is co-signing on that BS. She and your father should be figuring out alternative living situation for your sister, because she's clearly not safe at your house, and you can't be counted on to look out for her. You are being terrible, terrible sibling to her. You stink. Hubby obviously stink. Your mother stinks too. Looks like your father is a good judge of character, and he's a good reason for disliking him. Now, if only he'd get your sister out of your house.
Dang. Intense.
Okay, so yeah, what do you think?
I mean, I'm not sure.
Okay, here's another
If
one.
she hasn't really complained about it, then maybe there isn't much of an issue.
I mean, you got to see the writing on the wall here, kind of. You can't be waiting for something bad to happen.
I mean, I guess.
Because this guy definitely seems to be a little bit like creeping on her sister a bit. Creeping on her 19-year-old sister.
Maybe. Yeah.
And being all like, where's my hug?
I mean, technically he is a part of the family. Maybe that's just how he jokes. I'm not that I'm saying that it's correct to do things like that.
Mm-hmm. The best way to do it is you gotta say, like, dude, like, it's not cool. Don't do that. And if he stops, then that's good. But if he doesn't, then that's not good either. And then, okay, so this comment says, a man in his 30s asking a teenager where his hug to guilt trip her into hugging him? That's concerning. Also, is impulsive leading to stealing money and food doesn't sound like autism. Your friends may be wrong, but your sister crying every night and saying she wouldn't involve herself in your relationship like that? Not Adam's a great guy, I love him like a brother, and tense and miserable every time your husband is around, I can see why they are concerned. I can see why you're concerned, too.
Well, then, yeah.
I do think OP is being a bit of a butthole for being very, like, not seeing what's going on here.
Yeah.
And being like, no, I'm not gonna have my husband accountable for you. You're on your own, and that's not a very sisterly thing.
Well, did she say that?
Yeah, she said she won't reevaluate his relationship with her.
Okay, well.
And so I think that's not a very sisterly thing to do. So yeah, and if everybody's saying, if your friends are saying he's being a creep, your dad's saying he's a creep, and your sister is acting like he's a creep, then he probably is a creep, and you should probably do something about it instead of just sitting around waiting for something to happen and making excuses for him. So yeah, what do you think?
I don't know if I would call her a butthole.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is the husband a butthole? Yeah, absolutely. Probably. It seems like it, I guess. I mean, it's just really difficult for me personally to understand everything that's going on in this. Because I'm just like going based off of what the OP is saying, and obviously, again, I don't have more context. I don't know how the sister actually feels. I don't know anything really about the husband except for what she said here.
I also don't like the fact that he's stealing money.
Yeah, that's pretty not cool.
And that she's all like, it was an accident.
I can understand not wanting to leave your husband because she loves him.
And they have a daughter together.
And they have a daughter together.
Do they have a daughter together?
I don't know, do they? No, she has a daughter, I think.
Okay. Yeah?
I don't remember. It might just be that the sister needs a different living situation.
Oh, it says a 15-year-old daughter.
Yeah, so, yeah,
or
daughter.
Maybe you could have, since his stepdaughter and her sister are closer in age, maybe you can have his stepdaughter kind of go in and do some recon. Doing like, hey, I'm another teenager just like you. What's going on? See if she opens up.
Yeah, that could be a solution.
See if she opens up.
And if it's a, yeah, I really don't like what's going on, I'm really uncomfortable about it, then you either need to reevaluate your relationship with
because
your husband,
it sounds like,
or she needs a different living situation.
Because it sounds like her sister doesn't want to say anything. And
it could be that.
And because she says that she's never brought anything up to OP.
Yeah.
Everything is that she sees is what she's seeing and what she is observing, and that the people who are telling her to reevaluate is her friends.
Yeah.
And that she's crying every night, which she's just saying it's migraines.
But that could be true. Migraines are really painful.
Yeah. Every night, but I don't know. It could just be her making something
It
up
could
to
be
cover.
an excuse. You could potentially be having migraines every night. I don't know how migraines work very well.
If that's the case, you need to go to the doctor.
Then you need to go to the doctor.
Yeah. If you're having migraines every night. And so yeah, back to my thing. Have stepdaughter come in. Hello, fellow kid. I'm another teenage girl just like you. What's eating you? And then she'll be like, honestly, I think he's a bit of a creep.
Or she'll be like, nothing's eating me.
And then we failed.
And then
mission failed.
That's it. What do you mean mission failed? It could be that there isn't an issue with her.
I don't know, Clara.
You don't know that.
All signs are pointing to issue.
Right. Sure. Maybe. But there's a possibility that there isn't an issue.
I say
with the sister.
I say butthole. And you say not enough information.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go. Let's move on. Maybe something a bit more lighthearted. Let's see what we got. AITA for telling everyone in the home that I will plate food from now on and clear labeling for leftovers.
Okay.
Okay, I have 3 people in the home right now. My daughter, that is going to college, and my son and his wife that are staying to save money. The issue is with my son and his wife. They eat too much. They eat so much, and frankly, it is a concerning amount. What I usually do before they moved in was make a meal everyone eats and then pack up leftovers for the fridge. The food is gone by the time I even try to get seconds. Sometimes I make food and my daughter aren't home and it's all gone. I make big meals that can easily feed 4 to 6 people with leftovers sometimes. For example, I made a pound of spaghetti with meat sauce. I didn't even get any. I didn't grab any and was going to eat after I finished some chores. My daughter wasn't home and those 2 ate a whole pound of spaghetti.
Oh my goodness.
I had a 2-layer cake, almost all was there, and went to work. The cake was gone and when I got home in less than 8 hours.
Oh.
My daughter is very frustrated since there are never any cooked food at home. I have made double batches and that gives leftovers, but they don't last. The next day, the leftovers are gone. It is hurting my wallet and I am over it. I don't want to charge for groceries, so since that won't solve the issue with leftovers, or they will eat everything before everyone has a chance. So I sat everyone down, told them I will be plating everyone's food, that leftovers will be split evenly and labeled clearly. If anyone is still hungry, then they can buy more food to eat. I implemented it today. My daughter and I loved it since they could have leftovers, I guess. They hated it and are still hungry. This started an argument and they think I'm a huge jerk. What do you think? No, what?
Not the butthole.
You're not the butthole, and I think you solved it. You solved the issue.
You solved the issue.
And I think they just need to get used to it.
They need to learn how to eat for smaller portions.
I do want to say that these 2 seem like a match made in heaven.
Definitely.
Very good match.
Absolutely.
They love their food. And so they're They both love to eat food, and I think that's a good match. So
Good
congratulations to the happy couple.
Congratulations.
But you need to like probably think about
You need to think about the other people you are living with.
Yeah, and like as OP said, if you want more food, just go and buy more food.
Go buy more food.
Go buy more food because you obviously want more food.
And if you're complaining about spending money on more food, then you know.
I mean, you can always get a Costco membership, like go to Costco, get everything in bulk, and that should help. Get a Sam's Club
I don't know how
membership.
much Costco. I mean, I don't know how much that costs.
How much
is it a monthly membership?
Maybe. What's a Sam's Club membership?
Well, I don't know.
Sam's Club membership. $50 a year.
$50 a year. That's not bad.
Yeah, and then there's Sam's Club Plus, which is $110 a year.
Oh. What does that give you?
I have no idea.
Why is there a membership and then a plus? What benefits do you get with the plus?
I have no idea. Maybe more food.
More food. More.
Or maybe like cheaper discounts or something.
Oh, maybe.
But like, yeah, get a Sam's Club membership. Get a bunch of stuff in bulk, and then you should be good. Get like a huge pound of stuff, $20, 20 bones. Put that in there. But I think OP solved it already. There's nothing to fix.
Yeah,
here.
there's that. Well, I don't think that she's asking for another issue. I don't think she's asking for the fix issue. She's asking if she's being a butthole about this.
She's definitely not being
Definitely
a butthole.
not.
She's being very reasonable.
It's very reasonable.
And I think like her son and her daughter-in-law need to probably just get used to it.
Probably, yeah.
They might not. It's obvious they're gonna fight it.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
I think it's natural. I don't think they're the butthole either. I think they're just. This is what happens when people get confronted with change.
Yeah.
And so it's natural for them to be a little bit resistant to it. But
they're used to eating more food.
Just give them like.
Give them a couple of.
Give them some time,
like
and they'll
week,
get.
a month.
It'll be done.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
They'll adjust.
They'll adjust. So nobody's the buttholes here, and OP is not the butthole. So let's see what the people of Reddit have to say. Nata, it makes no sense to cook if those intended don't get to eat. So you plating and labeling leftovers seems reasonable to ensure all get to eat. I think it's weird, Af, that your son and his wife would think it's okay to eat all or most of the food when you and your daughter hasn't had a chance to eat anything. That's so inconsiderate of them. And then OP responds with, I don't understand why they're eating so much. The cake confuses me greatly. That was a big cake. It was gone by 5. Those two ate 85% of the cake. It's ridiculous.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I do agree. That's a lot of food to eat. Nata, if your son and his wife are disrespecting you and your daughter in your own home with their selfish behavior, so you had no choice but to do something, do they pay anything towards their upkeep? I don't understand why you aren't assisting them contributing to groceries, especially if they eat so much. But again, it's your home, your choice. And then OP responds with, because if I do, I have a feeling that will pool. I am also paying for this food so I can eat as much as I want. It won't solve the issue. That's true. I think OP's is a not good idea there. Instead, everyone gets fixed amount and they're hungry. They can get their own stuff, which I think is probably the best move. I think she did the best move.
Yep.
And then another person says, they think I am a huge jerk. I think it's time for son and wife to spread their wings and leave the nest. Learn about self-reliance and how much their lack of self-control costs. Nata et al. Keep doing what you're doing. Die on this hill. They hated it and are still hungry. But, what about all the money they're saving? They should be able to supplement their appetites themselves.
Yep.
/S. So yeah, I think not the butthole.
Not the butthole.
Moving on. AITA for refusing to help my dad's wife with their baby and saying I'm not her helper.
Okay, let's hear it.
My dad and I, 17, male, do not have a good relationship. When my mom was sick with cancer, my dad was out cheating on her.
Oh.
And he left me to take care of my younger siblings who were 12 and 11.
Dang.
He even let me catch him with 2 different women during that time, and my mom was in hospice. So it was really difficult not to say anything, but I was so overwhelmed and scared that saying the wrong thing would take her from us sooner. This was 4 years ago, and I never forgave him for what he put me through. I told him before that I never want to be like him when I grow up, and he is no role model for me. I called him a failure as a husband and a father. He is peeved at being called a failure as a father, but when his 3 kids need him the most, he wasn't there. Also, he was boning women on the side. He also said he loved my mom and never wanted me to say he was all bad as her husband. I said I found it hard to believe that he never convinced me that he actually loved her. I was still mostly in charge after mom died, but eventually my siblings started to pick up some skills, so I wasn't basically doing it all. I really helped and made us regular siblings again instead of me being almost a dad. But it was also tough because they were really young and I hated that they were forced to grow up so fast. Losing mom did that anyway. Dad met someone a couple of years ago and he introduced her to us last year, and it took only a few weeks for her to move in. Then suddenly she's pregnant and they race to get married. Okay. My dad's wife tried to involve my siblings and me in their pregnancy. Excitement, but I wasn't excited, and I think they were either. I don't think they were either. I'm pretty sure we all avoided her as much as we could. The baby was born in December, and she had been reaching out to me to help pretty often, but I don't help her. I check in on my siblings where I can, but other than that, I focus on me. I know biologically that baby is my half-sibling, but I don't care. I see them as a sibling, but I'm not planning to bond with them or keep them on my life since I'm in college. I won't speak to Dad either, just my siblings. Recently, Dad's wife has been pressing more for my help, and the other day she asked me if I could be such a great big brother to my younger siblings, but I could never even held her baby or cooed over her baby. She told me she sees me do so much for my siblings and know I was the person who helped them through when my mom was sick and when she died. She told me she figured I would want to be the same for her baby. I told her it wasn't my job to help and to get her husband to help if she needed it. She told me she wanted her baby to be accepted, and none of us had accepted the baby yet. None of us had interacted with the baby yet. She said it's not fair and she needs help. I told her I'm not her helper and she needs to hire someone if she wants help or again get Dad, but I won't be doing anything for her or her baby. She called me disgusting. AITA. So AITA.
Yikes. What do you think?
I don't think it's. I think this guy's 17.
17.
This guy's 17. Why are you
asking a 17-year-old for help with your baby?
Well, yeah. He has a point. Like, dude, this is not my job. This is your kid.
Yeah.
So why don't you, why don't you be a mom and do mom stuff, or something like that? And then if you do need help, ask my absentee father, who seems to be also a deadbeat to this guy, to this kid. So I can understand why, and I can understand why he's of that mindset.
Yeah.
Because he's all like, "Hey, this is the bed you made. You gotta lay in it. I'm not helping you," and like this has nothing to do with me, and it doesn't. It doesn't have anything to do with him. You don't think so?
No. I mean, I'm agreeing. Okay. That was like a yeah.
Yeah. And this guy had to man up very early.
Yeah.
Because now he has to pretty much raise his siblings, and that's why he had a great connection with them, and that's why he's doing that, because Mr. Dad wants to sleep around when his wife is dying.
If he doesn't want a connection with his half sibling, he doesn't. That's his right.
I think as of right now, no. But I don't want him to blame the sins of the father on him.
He shouldn't resent the baby, is what I'm saying as well.
Maybe when he's older, we can talk.
Maybe when he's older, we can talk. Right now, he's busy being a kid, I guess.
Yeah, be your own kid. Be a kid. Do kid things.
Do your own life. Do your parties. Have your friends. Yeah. Don't worry about, children.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, you're 17.
You're 17.
So be 17. And don't let anyone bully you into being not 17.
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to help.
You don't have to help.
Is the thing.
Mm-hmm. And so definitely don't want him to project.
I mean, like obviously, and like I can understand the wife wanting the kids to have a connection to her baby. I can get that. But also, you can't force that kind of thing. If they want a relationship with their half sibling, then they'll have a relationship with their half sibling. If not, then
I don't think it's a good idea to project the sins of the father onto the kid.
Nope, absolutely not.
Because this kid didn't do anything.
Nope, this kid was just born.
Yeah, and so definitely not now is probably the best, but maybe in 5-10 years.
5-10 years.
Maybe we can hang out.
You could start. And it's always difficult having like such a big age gap between siblings, half siblings. You know, because this is a baby and you're a 17-year-old, and then 5-10 years now you're going to be like an adult, and they're going to be like a child.
Yeah.
So.
But they can still be like.
You can still be like, hey, we're half siblings.
We're half siblings. We're cool.
We're cool now.
Yeah. Let's see what people of Reddit have to say.
Yeah.
Nata, if it were me, I would tell her all the nitty-gritty details, exactly why you had to be there for your siblings, so she understands why you're not interested in your dad's new family.
Yep.
And then OP says, she knows the details. She has attempted to defend my dad in the past, even though she doesn't even try to better his relationship with me. So, yeah. That's not good. Nata, if you live at home, try to spend time at library. Try to spend time at library.
Try to spend time at library.
I work, and then, OP says, I work so we can get out ASAP. That's where I spend a lot of time when I'm not at school or checking on my siblings. And then another person says, please make sure that they are the only one that can access the money that you've been earning. And then OP says, I am. I don't even think he knows I have a job, and she doesn't for sure. Okay, that's very upsetting.
All right, yeah.
What a deadbeat, Clara.
Yeah. Well, what is it with people and cheating on their spouses when they have cancer?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't get it.
And then Nata says, where is your dad? Exclamation mark.
Where is he?
It's infuriating.
Where is your father?
Apparently he's also being a deadbeat to this kid.
Keep going.
Apparently, whether it's supporting his dying wife or helping his new postpartum wife, he is nowhere to be found. You are not his replacement. You shouldn't have had to be his replacement when your mom was dying, and you definitely don't have to be it now. Your dad's wife needs to redirect her criticism. Yeah. And then he responds with, he's semi-around, but not very involved. And then another person responds with, so is he and the baby just living with you and your siblings in your mom's former home, wondering why you aren't doing childcare for her? And then he responds with, we live in a different house now, but she moved in, thought we would be all over her, focused on redecorating the house for the baby, and then expected us to be all over her pregnancy and the baby. She's expected I would be as active for her child as I had to be for my siblings, and whines that I'm not and we're not. That's very presumptuous.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I definitely don't think this guy's the butthole.
Nope.
And if this lady wants to be mad at someone, I think we all know who she needs to be mad at. Right.
All right. Father.
Okay. You are the father. Let's move on. Let's go. Last one.
Last
Last one. Stop.
Stop what?
I'm trying to find this. Okay. AITA for not punishing my son for pantsing his sister.
Oh dear. Oh, okay.
I, 45, female.
Okay.
Oh, it's the mom.
The mom.
I would expect this from a dad, but not the mom.
All right.
I have two children, Sarah, who's female, 16, and James, 10.
Oh.
The age gap between the two. Given the age gap between the two, they're not particularly close, but aside from the occasional bickering, they get on well. Yesterday evening, I allowed Sarah to have a friend over, Chris, who's 16. I'm pretty sure Sarah has a crush on Chris. even if she tells me she doesn't, and that they're just friends, quote unquote. Anyway, I have a problem with her inviting him over and let him use the front room to complete homework. I was in the kitchen at this point, so this is a retelling I have received from Sarah. From my understanding, James wanted to use the room to watch TV, and Sarah kept on telling him to go away. It turned into a typical sibling bickering. As Sarah is much stronger, she told me she used a light shove to get James to leave. In retaliation, Sarah was wearing those loose-fitting sweatpants. James pulled those down, which left Sarah in her panties in front of Chris. She screamed, but pulled them up straight away and shouted at James. At this point, I entered the room to all this commotion and sent James upstairs to his room. Sarah and Chris some space. Chris left shortly after. Yeah, I would too.
Yep. That makes sense.
After, and when he did, Sarah told me how embarrassed she was.
Yeah.
That no boy had seen her underwear before, and she wasn't even wearing a thong. What?
Huh?
Is she mad that she wasn't wearing a thong?
Is she mad she wasn't wearing sexier underwear? That's weird to say. She's 16. Ew.
That is weird to say. I told her it wasn't too big a deal, but I would speak to James and tell him it's inappropriate and do not repeat the behavior. Sarah started to get really angry with me and said James should have had a more severe punishment than just talking to, as it's perverted behavior, quote unquote, and that he deserves a quote unquote real punishment. I told her that as he's only 10 and doesn't understand why that's completely inappropriate, I felt like talking to was enough, and a more severe punishment would happen if he did it again.
Yep.
Sarah went off crying, saying how unfair this was and how I'm taking his side. I haven't changed my mind on other than giving James a telling off, which he listened to. I've taken it no further. Sarah says it's bad parenting. AITA.
She's 16. She doesn't know or understand what good parenting is.
Yeah. Wait, so you're saying not the butthole?
No, not the butthole. I can understand Sarah's frustration. What a terrible and embarrassing thing to happen in front of a guy.
That is a very that would be very embarrassing.
However, you wouldn't want to give the son too severe of a punishment for something that he might not understand is actually a really bad thing to do.
Right.
I mean, he's 10 years old. I don't know what the age is when you become aware that things like pantsing is perverted and inappropriate.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the mom is correct in that just a talking to. I don't know. Maybe you could do like a no dessert for 2 days or something. But I don't think that anything more is necessary unless it becomes a repeat thing that happens.
Mm-hmm. So let's see what the people at Reddit have to say.
Yeah.
Hi, I work with 10-year-olds. They absolutely know this kind of behavior is inappropriate. And
well,
I can all but guarantee that your son even knows why his behavior is inappropriate.
Oh, well then.
And that's why he did it.
Oh, well then.
I agree with your daughter. His behavior is grossly out of line, and you need to take steps to address it. I'm not a big on punishments, but he clearly doesn't respect her boundaries, and it doesn't seem like you do either.
Well, we've got a professional here, so I guess I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta start him young, though. Because, like, you can't just boys will be boys it.
Well, yeah.
Like, it's not gonna happen. That doesn't fly anymore.
Well, I'm not saying that that's what she's doing.
Mm-hmm. And like, further down the line, he needs to learn that you got to be respectful to women.
Well, yeah, you got to be respectful to everyone.
Like women.
Nathaniel.
And women is included. Everyone, yeah.
Yeah, so you can just say everyone.
Yeah, like women.
Yeah, and men.
So, AITA, if a 10-year-old doesn't understand why it's inappropriate to expose other people, that's parenting failure. You need a remedy immediately. If someone had pantsed Sarah at school, they should not be held accountable. If it happened on the street, would it be okay?
Wait, I mean, is giving somebody a talking to not holding them accountable? I'm confused.
I don't know. Maybe they're not. They think that that she's not giving them enough of a talking to.
Enough of a talking to? What counts as enough of a talking to?
I don't know. Like, that's something you really need to, like, sit them down, like, hey, dude.
Well, yeah.
You can't be doing that.
I feel like that's...
Anybody.
We don't know what she did. What if that's what she did? What if she sat him down and was like, hey, you can't be doing things like this?
Right.
I know if that happened to me, I would be severely embarrassed in terms of, like, my actions.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And I'm sure her daughter is very embarrassed. It's a very embarrassing thing.
It's a very embarrassing thing, yeah, absolutely.
In front of Chris, I guess.
But to me, it doesn't seem like she's picking sides.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like she agrees that this isn't an appropriate thing. But if this isn't something that's happened before, then it makes sense to be like, hey, you can't do things like this anymore, okay? Mm-hmm. And then if he's like, okay, and then he does it again, that's when you start adding in more severe punishment.
Right. Mm-hmm. You know that. And then AITA says, and then another person says, AITA, come on. 10 and does not understand why pantsing his sister is inappropriate.
What age, what grade are you in when you're 10? How old?
Fourth grade.
Fourth grade? I don't remember what I knew when I was in fourth grade.
I don't know.
When did they start teaching us biology?
Usually that's the thing that you learn in middle school, I think.
Middle school, right? So 5th, 6th grade?
No, like 6th, 7th, I think.
6th, 7th grade, right? But I mean, like, I guess in the internet age nowadays, it might be easier to come across that information. Maybe he did know. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Honestly, they're all children to me, and all children know the same things.
Right. So, okay. So, he knew exactly what he was doing. He's like this evil mastermind.
See, that's what's annoying me about these comments right now.
Why?
Is that they're like, oh, he knew what he was doing. That perverted 10-year-old.
They're kind of framing him as like this evil mastermind,
right?
Who is like it's like he knew exactly what he was doing.
I mean, like, maybe he did, but maybe he like. I'm not trying to like justify his actions, because that's not something that you should do, and you shouldn't do that to your sister, and you shouldn't do that to anybody. But it's like, when you're 10, sometimes you don't realize these things,
right?
And then that's when the talking to comes into, and you're like, hey, you can't do that.
Exactly.
Unless he's been pantsing everybody at school.
He's like a serial pantser.
He's a serial pantser. In that case, then yes, more severe punishment.
Yeah.
But like, the heck?
Why was your son not told that while your daughter's friend was over that they were studying, he was not allowed to watch TV?
He's a 10-year-old.
Why didn't you intervene when you first heard shouting or arguing?
They're kids and siblings. They're gonna argue.
I think she did.
When there was more severe yelling, yeah, that's when she came out. But when you have siblings and they like fight and stuff like that, like siblings, you only come out when it's like, you know that there's something wrong about what's going on.
Yeah. And let's see, daughter has boy over. They have to be in a common room because a boy, but hey, brother pulled down pants, boy sees all, and it's no problem. Truthfully, both should be punished. Son, her acting the way he did, and daughter for shoving brother. Your story makes one wonder how much son gets away with versus daughter.
What? How are these people making these correlations? I don't understand this at all in my mind.
Let's put ourselves in the mindset.
Okay.
Of
whose mindset?
Of daughter's friend.
Okay.
Like, he sees.
I'm Mike. Was that his name?
Was his name Mike?
Chris, Mike.
Something like that. His name is Chris.
I'm Chris.
So we see Chris.
Chris.
You're with this girl.
With your girl.
With your friend.
Your friend
who has a crush on you, but you don't know that.
Maybe we don't know. Maybe.
And that she clearly has a crush on him.
Probably. If she's worried about what underwear she's wearing.
Yeah, if she's I wasn't even wearing a thong.
Why would you want to be wearing a thong? Then he's going to see your butt.
That's a really weird thing for her to say. And you see your brother Panther, and you see all the cheeks, and
You see everything.
you see all the cheeks, and you're like, I gotta go.
Time to leave.
So, I think. What do you think he was thinking
What
this
do I
whole
think
time?
he was thinking? He
Like-
was probably like, whoa!
So, do you think like that's a good move that he didn't like stay like, hey, like your butt?
No,
Or-
stop it. Please, Nathaniel, please remember, this is a 16-year-old we're talking about.
Right. But instead, he was like, I think it's time for me to leave.
I'm really confused as to why we're talking about this specifically, but yeah, I think that was probably a pretty good move
Okay.
on his part.
Okay, good. And so, what do you think? You still think not the butthole?
I don't agree with the comments at all. I think not a butthole.
Okay, going against the grain here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's pretty much all the buttholes and not the buttholes.
Well, what do you think? You didn't answer.
Do
you agree with the comments or not? That's all it is.
I mean, kinda.
You kind of agree with the comments?
Yeah, I mean, like you gotta set the fear of God in them.
No.
You gotta take them behind the barn.
No.
You gotta take the belt and.
Now I know you're just messing around.
Okay.
Because there's no way you believe in that. Because we did not receive such punishments.
Yes, right. But yeah, I mean, it's a very huge issue.
Yeah.
That is.
But is this something
glaring.
that has happened before?
That,
Because
I
if
don't
this
think
is
so.
a new issue, that's what I'm saying. If this is a new issue, hasn't happened before, then I don't think severe punishment is necessary.
Yeah. Because this kid is like, oh, you know, getting kicked in the balls is funny. Oh.
Who?
Like the kid, the 10-year-old kid, he probably
Is
thinks
he?
that that's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, you're making assumptions about him.
What?
I said you're making assumptions about him.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to make assumptions. But what were we talking about?
Oh my gosh. Is the mom a butthole or not a butthole in your eyes?
Probably she's being
You
a bit
think
of a
that
butthole.
she's being a bit of a butthole? Okay.
I think she
Well,
is.
then we disagree on this one.
Okay. So those are all the buttholes and the not buttholes.
The buttholes and the not buttholes. Who do you think is the biggest butthole this week, Nathaniel?
I'm trying to remember.
Right? There was like...
Let me look back at the catalog. Let's look back.
There's so many... There's like a big array.
And these were like kind of like I think like as like the people like I could tell some people are the butthole.
Yeah.
But
I think there was more not buttholes than there were buttholes.
Right.
In this round.
I think probably okay. There was the person who allegedly home wrecked her the marriage.
There's that one.
And then
allegedly.
And then there was the woman who was like, "Sure, I'll let my husband creep on my 19-year-old sister. I don't care."
Yeah.
And those are probably like the big ones.
Those are
but
yeah.
I probably the only one that I think would apply would probably be the lady who doesn't want to protect her sister from anything.
I guess
it's her by default.
I guess that's by default. I guess that's the biggest one.
Yeah, if I knew for certain that the lady who
if we knew for a fact and we had the hard evidence that lady was in fact a home wrecker,
I would say the home
I would
wrecker,
say
but
that one.
But since there's not enough evidence,
there's not enough evidence because of things were deleted and we can't verify the contents of those deleted comments.
Right. So yeah, that's the end. That's who's the butthole, who's not the butthole. I've been Nathaniel Avila.
And I have been Clara Avila.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to a Vision podcast, home of wacky talkies, The Kingdom, Evil Exists, and many more.